Big game on the horizon, Chiefs Kingdom. Maybe a bigger one than anybody expected when we were looking at the schedules to start this season. But week 5, we're on Monday Night Football, the big show in Jacksonville, facing the 3-1 Jacksonville Jaguars. You're watching the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. My name is Jackson Durham, and we appreciate you guys joining us wherever you are, spending your time with us today on this Friday. And today, we've got a bit of a busy agenda for you. We're going to talk 3 keys to victory against the Jacksonville Jaguars, go through some things I think are absolutely key for us to come out victorious in this game. Once again, not a team we can sleep on. This is a pretty good unit. And then we've got 2 Chiefs to watch in this one. I want to pay attention to two guys that have been shining in the last couple games, see if they can keep it up. But before we get into all that, I want to hear from you guys. Who you got in this one? Who are you rolling with? Our Kansas City Chiefs? Get down there and spam KC in those comments. I want to see a lot of KCs. I know I'm going to be spamming them down there. But if for whatever reason you're a Jags fan, you're hanging out with us, we don't have a Jags channel here at Chat Sports. So maybe you are a Jags fan, just stumbled upon this video looking for some Jags content. You're welcome to be here. You're welcome to get down there and spam JAC as well. But let's get into 3 keys for victory for the Chiefs. And number 1, stopping the run. Any of our Jags fans watching this know they hang their hat on Travis Etienne. He has been fantastic this season. The former Clemson back, shout out to our guy Chip here at Chat Sports. He's been really good this year. 65 carries for 394 yards, 6.1 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns. And when he does get it done, it's primarily running to the left. Check out these splits, guys. It's very interesting. When I was going through the stats, doing my research for this video, I haven't seen splits like this too often. Do a lot of research on a lot of football teams, and 270 carries to the left, 35. The carry split is not very big, just 7 carries difference between the two sides. But how much more efficient they are running to the left is almost bizarre, averaging double the amount, over double the amount, 3 times as many first downs when you run to the left, and over twice as many 10-yard carries. And there's really one reason why, and it's not an offensive lineman, surprisingly. It's this guy, Brenton Strange. This dude is fantastic. He has been an excellent lead blocker for Jacksonville. Extremely key to their run game this season. I know he's frustrating some fantasy owners because he's not super productive in the receiving game and he hasn't been getting many red zone targets. But the reason why he's on the field almost every time they run the ball is because he is dominant as a lead blocker. Takes a lot of pride in that aspect of his game. So he is going to be someone we have to watch for. You got to account for multiple things when you see Brenton Strange out in the formation because obviously, I said he's not a big part of their receiving game, but he's still a factor there. 23 targets, 19 receptions for 182 yards the first 4 games. So they can and do like to get him the ball, but he's something we've got to account for in multiple ways. And our front seven's going to have to play very well in this game. Run defense has been an issue. We're going to get into the stats on that in a minute, but we need some guys to step up in this one. Mike Dana should hopefully be back. He was off the injury report on Thursday. George Karlaftis, we're going to need a big game from him. Chris Jones getting back to full capacity after coming in late from that Mississippi funeral last week. We're going to need all of these guys to really step up. Omar Norman-Lott's another guy I'm really watching for. The linebacker group, again, front 7 just needs to play together, needs to stop this run game, and it's something we've struggled to do this season. You look at the numbers here. We're allowing 127 yards per game to the ground, almost the worst in the NFL when it comes to yards per carry, and we've allowed 4 touchdowns to the ground game. And by PFF, which I know PFF, not everybody's favorite. People have different feelings about them, but generally they're on track with things. They've got us graded out as the 3rd worst run defense in the NFL right now. Just a 52 grade flat out of 100. But this has to be something we improve on. In my opinion, it's a huge key in this one to keep them in 3rd and long. We want Trevor Lawrence to have to be a huge factor for them in this one. We want them to rely on Trevor Lawrence to get them out of tough situations, because I don't think he can do it, especially if we heat him up. And that's what Steve Spagnuolo has focused on doing this season. Blitz, blitz, blitz. And Trevor Lawrence is horrendous under pressure. Over the last 2 seasons, he is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL when you get some heat on him. 40.6% completion percentage, 362 yards passing for less than 4 yards per attempt, And almost 9% of his total attempts are considered turnover-worthy plays by PFF, which means he's throwing the ball into coverage. He's doing something that could result in a turnover. It doesn't result in a turnover every single time, but he is consistently putting the ball in harm's way if you can get pressure on him. And that's exactly what we want. I saw a stat today on Twitter. Did you know the Kansas City Chiefs have not lost a football game since week 6 of 2019 when we win the turnover battle? That is 35 consecutive games that you have not lost when you win the turnover battle. An absolutely unbelievable stat. And we can win the turnover battle if we turn up the heat. And like I said, this is something we've seen Steve Spagnuolo lean into doing this season, especially against better quarterbacks. Justin Herbert saw 40% blitz rate. Jalen Hurts saw a whopping 60% blitz rate. And Lamar Jackson was over 33%. I don't think we need to heat up Trevor Lawrence at a near 60% rate. What we did against the Eagles may have been a little bit too much, although it did work in getting Jalen Hurts off schedule. But I want to see blitz rates similar to what we had in week 1 or week 4, close to that 40% mark, a consistent amount of blitzing, and especially on 3rd and long. Like I said, the key here is stopping the run on early downs and then making them rely on the pass and blitzing in obvious passing situations. That will allow us to win this game, in my opinion, because you can create that pressure on Trevor Lawrence, force him to make a decision in these moments, and he'll often make the wrong one. But you and I, just like Trevor Lawrence, we also make decisions every single day. And on PrizePicks, you can actually get paid for being right. You don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks where it's good to be right. They're the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. You want to pick more on Josh Allen's passing yards, rushing yards, and touchdowns? Now you can pick them all in the same lineup, only on PrizePicks. So I got my lineup built for this week, these Sunday games. I got Dylan Gabriel less on passing yards. Quinshon Judkins, we're going with the more on his touchdowns. Think he can get in the end zone. And Jackson Dart, we went against him last week. We thought he would throw an interception on that lineup, but this time we're rolling with the Dart. We're going more on his passing yards and more on Saquon Barkley's as well, combining a little NFC East action. You can tail me on this lineup. You can fade me on this lineup. Whatever you do, just do it at PrizePicks because PrizePicks puts their members first. So all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. They offer Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. Back into my keys to victory, and the final one, and the biggest one, in my opinion, we got to get number 1 involved. Xavier Worthy needs to see a lot of touches. And if you watched last week, you know exactly why I feel that way. Man, it was good to have this guy back. We have been missing him, man. 7 touches for 121 yards, 85 in the first half. Leads all receivers and rushers in this game for Kansas City. What a phenomenal way to reintroduce yourself to the NFL from Xavier Worthy. And exactly what we needed, just what the doctor ordered for this offense. Because efficiency has been an issue. Kareem Hunt leads all Chiefs in touches this season. He's got 41 of them for 151 yards. That's pretty pathetic. Isiah Pacheco's right behind him at 38 for 153. And that's also pretty pathetic. Hollywood Brown, 22 for 209. That's pretty solid. But again, Travis Kelce, 15 for 121. None of these guys are really blowing us away this season, but Xavier Worthy comes in, and in his first game, he's averaging 17 yards per touch. Is that sustainable? No, absolutely not. He's not going to do that all season long. If he did, he'd probably win the MVP. But what a fantastic way to come back and show that you can be an explosive part of this offense, that you can be a key for us, especially for Patrick Mahomes, opening things up in the deep passing game, but also opening things up for other guys. We talked about lacking that vertical threat until Tyquan Thornton started to step up. That was affecting things for the run game. That was affecting things for Travis Kelce. But when we brought Worthy in, and when he can be a focal point to this offense, it opens things up for everybody. And it's because of the way we use him. his usage is so varied right now. Last season, he was kind of in this gadget role, but now he's opened up to being a receiver one with gadget variability, and that makes you have to account for everything with him. 9 targets, at least one at every single level of the field. If you don't know what I mean by that, that means he had 3 beyond 20 yards, 1 in the 10 to 19 range, 2 in the 10 to 1 range, and he also got 1 behind the line of scrimmage, so a little screen action as well. And he wasn't just lined up in the slot. He saw 70% of his snaps lined up out wide versus 30% of them in the slot, so we moved him around a ton. And one of those snaps out wide, he gets an end around. So you can't just jam him on the line of scrimmage because, hey, buddy, he might just go right around you, and now you're in horrible position. You've got to really think as a defensive coordinator when Xavier Worthy's on the field. And that's one of the worst things. You don't want to have to overthink it with one player, but Xavier Worthy makes you do that, and he makes you lose track of other guys that could also hurt you. So I'm going to hear from you guys on this one. How many touches should Xavier Worthy get in week 5? Last week, he had 7 total touches, 9 targets. I want to see him get 10. I think he should get 10 touches in this game. That feels like the magic number to me. I want to see that usage continue to ramp up. 2 other things to watch, 2 guys to watch, 2 rookies to watch, really, is maybe what this section should be called. Number 1, Noah Williams. And maybe I've underserved Noah Williams to this point for you guys. I haven't really talked about him as much as I feel I should have, and we've brought him up a couple times. I'll give myself a little credit for that. But gosh, man, he has been unbelievable. I was watching more of the film today, and just really enjoying watching this kid go to work. You do not often see rookie corners come into the NFL and play well at all, really. Usually these guys come in and struggle. He has come in and genuinely, and I wouldn't say this if it wasn't statistically true, been a top 5 corner in the NFL this season. 8 targets, just 2 receptions allowed, 10 yards allowed on those 8 targets for an unbelievable 1.25 yards per target. A 38% forced incompletion rate, 3 pass breakups on just 8 targets, and a 39.6 passer rating allowed. Remember, that is out of 158.3. That's just unbelievable, man. I want to see if Noah Williams can continue that hot streak, especially with Christian Fulton coming back. What's the usage look like? I think he should take over that starting role, though. Christian Fulton was not playing that well. And ultimately, if that means we wasted a little bit of money on a contract for him, I'm okay with that if that means we've got a fantastic young corner joining this secondary. Brashard Smith is the other guy I want to talk about. Good game for Brashard Smith last week. Not going to blow you away with the numbers, but when you compare to what he did in the first 3 weeks, it's absolutely noticeable that he started to play a larger role in this rushing game. 4 carries for him versus just 3 in the first 3 games of the year. And he saw his first 3 receptions and did very good work with those, which is not surprising considering he's a converted receiver coming in from SMU. That's an area he offers you a lot of utility in, and that's something that excites me about Brashard Smith. He offers a lot more versatility than the other guys in our running back room. And I want to see if that usage continues to ramp up. It's something Andy Reid hinted probably would. He was asked today in a press conference, what makes Brashard Smith special? What makes him a rookie worthy of more usage than we've seen from other rookies drafted in his range in the past? And he talked about his mental maturity, about the way he's stepped up and just been ready for that kind of workload. So it seems like they're not pulling away from Brashard Smith at all. I expect to see him get more work in this one, and I think he can be a real key to our run game stepping up against Jacksonville and getting the win. But we will see you guys on Tuesday after the Monday game for our takeaways, our winners, and our losers. Make sure you get down there and hit the subscribe button. Real quick, let's run through our 3 keys to victory one more time. Stopping the run, Travis Etienne, blitzing the hell out of Trevor Lawrence, and getting Xavier Worthy involved. Remember to get down there and let me know how many touches you think Xavier Worthy should get. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday for our winners and our losers and our key takeaways from Week 5. Be safe out there.